What's up guys, it's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity Build It video. Today we're going to be talking about should you ever unlock regional maps and what type of player are you? Now, a lot of this has to do with the foundation of your city, which is kind of what the Missy's Building Guide is all about. For those of you guys who are not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button. We're almost to 3,000 subscribers, which is awesome. We went up like 1,500 this past year. So for those of you guys who have not yet joined our Facebook page, you can go to Facebook, type in SimCity Build It, MissyAnne. We have a Facebook page and a Facebook group. The group you will need to apply to join into. The Facebook page you just hit like on. If you want to join our group on SimCity, you need to be a very active player that plays comp competitively each week. If you are a low-level player, you will need to be on the Missy's Building Guide. We offer comp training and a mentor program when you come in, and we track your progress. So we're a pretty serious group. Do not join in if you are not a serious player. Okay, we do not accept applications just because you apply in. You need to actually reach out to me or Star, which the links are down in the description below. We have a Discord channel that you can reach out to us on. And to promote the channel, to get back to the channel, you can put, follow MissyAnne in your city description, snap a screenshot of that, submit it to the album down below in the description box, and you'll be entered in to win free rares once a month. Okay? All right, so should you unlock a regional map? Well, that really depends on what kind of player you want to be. And honestly, I would say the vast majority of people who play SimCity, they kind of get lost in the dynamic of I wake up, I open my game, I refill my shops, I just kind of do whatever. And you do not want to be a player that runs in place. Now, I have other videos similar to, that subject. But in all reality, this game has its own way of kind of drawing you in and having you burn time and then not really getting anywhere, and it happens with a lot of people. They'll spend weeks or months, but then they don't really accomplish anything. The one thing that you want to do is you want to decide what kind of player you want to be, what kind of city you want to have, and that is something that you need to decide right away. The first one is, do you want to be a war player? And what I mean is that a competitive war player. All members of SimCity will pretty much need to be able to participate in war to be successful, okay? So even though you don't like the war feature, you will need to participate in it to some extent if you want to be successful in the contest of mayors or even designing, right? Now, the war feature in terms of being competitive, the war feature is not something that is beneficial. It's more for entertainment purposes. It is nothing but a debt, okay? You can implement the war feature into your gameplay for its beneficial purposes, which is stacking up war cards and boosters so that you can do your contest of mayors assignments, and that's basically it. If you play war competitively, that means that you're upgrading your war cards more than just for the contest of mayors. It gets very expensive, and it takes a lot of your inventory and basically just throws it in the garbage. It is extremely expensive to play war. That being said, if you want to build a city that is strictly for war, then you basically want to build a city that is level 24. You want to keep it a low level. You want to build only regular residential homes, and then basically getting those as maxed out as possible. So you want to have as many regular residential homes on your map at maximum upgrade, and you want to convert them all to gold epics. That way you have a way to make a whole bunch of money, or make some money, and you can do your war deliveries for cheap. The higher up in level that you go, the harder the more expensive the war deliveries are going to be, okay? You will want to unlock the VU tower so that you can stack up gold keys, and you basically, that would be it, okay? You want to get your storage as high as you can. Land unlocked really doesn't matter if you're just strictly a war player, because you're not going for design anyways. So you really don't need to do that. You just max out your regional or your residentials and convert to epics, and then just basically play war that way. Okay, so For the rest of you guys who are wanting to play comp competitively, you want to get the most out of the game, you want to have a nice looking city, or maybe you want to have a really high pop city, you're going to follow the Missy's Building Guide, okay? And basically the building guide, for those of you who are not familiar with it, it is pretty straightforward. I have walkthroughs on Facebook, or not Facebook, YouTube. There is a playlist that says Missy's Building Guide Walkthrough, Video 1, Video 2, all that good stuff. This is the written document that goes along with it. And then there is a Missy's Building Guide video where I go through and I explain to you guys what the guide is about, how everything works, what you should be doing. It is extremely important that you follow the guide 100%, okay? Now, I see a lot of players who have had their cities for a long period of time. Their cities are not really in good condition, but because they've had them so long, they have a lot of exclusive buildings that they don't want to junk. And by so long, I mean several years old, not just 1 or 2 years old. We're talking like 4 to 6 years old, okay? I understand not wanting to restart when you have 4 to 6 years into a city and you have a ton of exclusive buildings. I don't blame you, okay? So what you have to decide is what it is that you want from your city. If you want it to be a design city, whatever it is. If you want it to be high pop. And then you have to assess your city and determine how you're going to fix it to make it as best as it can be. So essentially the goal for any city is to max out your storage, get all the maps unlocked, participate in the contest, have all these buildings and landscape and build this amazing city, right? Okay. Well, a lot of people, they think that they can just play the game inevitably without unlocking any regional maps. Well, here's the thing with that. If you want to build a city based on design, you may want to reconsider that because that is where you're going to get all of your regional trees. All the trees in the landscape menu that look decent, you have the basic ones that cost cash. But a lot of the ones that look decent are regional trees. You don't get those until you unlock regional maps. So you're limiting yourself that way. You also won't be able to get hotspots, and then eventually, and it will be, rather quickly actually, you will fill up your capital map and you'll just have a whole bunch of stuff in storage that you can't utilize. Now, I actually had somebody reach out to me, and they were like level 70 something. They had no regional maps unlocked, and they weren't able to win the contest, even though they were doing upgrades. They weren't winning. They weren't getting enough premium assignments. Well, yeah, think about it. Your competitors have, let's see, 5 premium upgrade possibilities that you don't have. All those regional maps come with several premium assignments attached to them. For example, regional coins. That is a premium assignment. Every single map comes with its own regional currency task. So that's kind of a big deal. That's 5 premium assignments just in coins right there. Then you have 4 different regional production tasks, like the regional factory task, the small, medium, and large regional item production tasks. Those aren't premium, but they are decent assignments usually. Then you also have regional HQ task, that is premium, and you're missing out on the design features of that. So you also don't have multiple maps that you can convert epics on. So let's say that you get an epic project on for a main task, and then you're stuck on a cooldown. You can't do it, right? Now, at some point, you play comp competitively enough, you're going to be in a position where your map's going to be filled up with homes that you no longer have any space for. So you're going to have to start bulldozing your work. That seems kind of ridiculous as well. So you really want to think about what it is that you're closing yourself off to. Now, a lot of people will be like, well, I don't want to unlock regional maps because it's a headache and it's hard and it's whatever. Well, yeah, it is harder. But here's the thing. A lot of people, rather than finding the strategic way or efficient way to fix whatever the problem is, They just find the lazy way to avoid it. Now, here's the thing. I'm a level 99 player. Okay, I have everything maxed out. All my land, all my maps are unlocked. Mountain, beach, storage, everything is maxed. Okay, I've got 6 to 7 years of playing the game. I have a lot of exclusive buildings. I have a lot of designing time put into my city. I can't imagine playing this game and putting in that kind of time, effort, money, and then just being like, you know what? I'm going to close off a huge portion of the game and restrict myself because it might be a little bit more hard or difficult for me to compete. You know, it's still going to be difficult for you whether you unlock regionals or not. If you unlock regionals at the wrong time, it will make things really hard. Okay, you don't want to unlock regionals until you're ready, meaning you have to have max storage. You need to be in a position where you can actually afford to unlock regionals. Once you are in that position, though, you're really just hurting yourself, honestly. Because think about it like this. You're going to get to a point where you have so much stuff that you can't put it all out there. You can't design. You're going to get to a point where you don't have hardly anything to design with. And what are you really benefiting yourself? Are you winning the contest of mayors each week? And even so, how long do you think that's going to last when all your competitors have so many more premium assignments that you don't have? Yeah, it's not. That's why so many people are reaching out to me who are struggling because they don't have regionals unlocked. Now, my best advice to you is you need to look at your city and assess your city's current status. The city level, what's been accomplished, storage, land unlocked, regionals unlocked, how well you're doing in the contest of mayors, epic projects, all that stuff, okay? And you need to determine whether or not your city is worth it to keep it or if you need to restart. Most people, they need to restart. But if you've had your city for several years and restarting is not an option, I completely understand, okay? But it is going to take a lot for you guys to fix your cities. Just closing off that entire aspect of the game isn't realistic, okay? And then a lot of people will say, well, I'm not going to go past a certain level point. Well, now what are you going to do? If you're not going to go past a certain level, that means you're never going to be doing upgrades. How are you going to play high-level comm and never do upgrades? That's going to be near impossible. I mean, to win, that's not going to happen, okay? It's one thing when you're on the Missy's Building Guide, you're a low-level player, as long as you're below level 30 and you do not have a regional map unlocked, you can play the Contest of Mayors competitively and still win and not do upgrades for a long period of time. But the moment that you unlock Omega, you unlock an additional upgrade. That would be 8 upgrades you would have to stack up, okay? Now, at some point, you guys have to realize that you're really just restricting yourself from being able to actually play the game. I have a lot of people that start out on the building guide and they get comfortable. As a low-level player, look, they're like level 24, they've got 700 space. I mean, they can pretty much prep every item that they have unlocked and not have to really worry about much of anything. Nothing is really expensive, and they can basically just kind of camp there and have this really easy go-lucky time, right? But at some point, don't you get bored? Don't you say, you know what? Things are a little too good now. Maybe you should amp it up and actually enjoy the game for what it is. Now, here's the thing with this game. The game is set up to where you level up too quickly, you struggle greatly, and you get nowhere. You then realize you screwed up, and you either try to fix your screw up, or you go and restart, and you're better off, okay? In a lot of situations, what people do is they restart, they get traumatized from their previous screw up, and then they never go past a certain point, and they never enjoy the game for what it is. Even if I wanted to restart, there is no way that I would never unlock regionals. There's no way that I would never level up. That would be boring. You're not actually enjoying the game. And you also have to think about what things you could have accomplished in that time frame. So let's say that you camp and camp and camp forever. and you could have unlocked a regional map. You could have been stacking up regional currency all this time so that when November comes, you can actually afford to buy a whole bunch of stuff for 50% off. Instead, you really didn't accomplish much of anything from camping for so damn long. You camp for as long as you need to on the building guide. You get all the things done that are listed here in the building guide, okay? And you guys, once you're in a position to do so, you unlock your regional maps and you begin actually being able to enjoy the game. The purpose in the Missy's Building Guide is so that you guys can basically get everything done that is super important, like storage and stuff, learn the dynamics of the game, and then you can actually play as a high-level player and enjoy being able to actually afford things like the maxuses that you'll have 4 of your maxuses before you move up. You'll be able to enjoy things like the Contest of Mayors because you'll actually know how to play the Contest of Mayors. And you'll be in a position to where you're in a group, hopefully, that has decent players in it, and you guys can actually help each other. You have a large storage capacity. By the time you get to a point where you do unlock a regional map, you'll have all those regional coins built up from your Mayor's Pass, and you'll be able to buy that regional storage facility because you get 20 storage per regional map unlocked, okay? And everything will pan out to be decent. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. You're going to have different things to juggle and assignments and stuff like that and the currency tasks. But the better prepared that you are, the better off you're going to be, okay? If you go into it with this, go into it too quickly, not prepared, you're going to be absolutely miserable unlocking regionals. Make sure that you have a really good understanding of what it is you need to have accomplished, and you guys should be okay.